Good morning. Good morning, TikTok. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Today we're talking about becoming feminine. I'm going to give you tips on how to become feminine energetically and physically, what you can do to become more feminine. If you watched my TikTok, I already gave all these tips in a short videos, but I decided to collect them all in one so you can, for the reference. So they will be in no particular order, just anyhow. So you don't need to follow this order to become feminine. As long as you do something, that would be more than enough. Like as long as you do something every day. So we'll start with this. Now, today is a good day to talk about femininity and to try to be more feminine, because Venus, our planet of love, feminine energy, beauty, money, went into Cancer. Cancer is very feminine sign for Venus. So whether you want it or not, naturally you will crave to become more feminine, and this is it's kind of normal. So it's a good time for the next 3 weeks. Everybody will be more kind of domesticated, more feminine, more softer. Not more softer, and all that. So basically, it's a good time to become feminine. If you ever was thinking, then it's time. Now, why would you want to become feminine? I will tell you why. Because if you were born in a feminine body, you already crave to be feminine. Our feminine bodies are not as strong, and you can work out as much as you want, but you were not designed to work long hours and do everything yourself. There is masculinity for that. So with me, when I embraced more feminine lifestyle, everything started coming to me easier. Men started coming to me easier. Money started coming to me easier. Now, the man that I started attracting, much more masculine provider kind of type, secure man that are giving, that are providing for me. So this is basically why you should be feminine. Femininity is a must, I would say, for everybody. So, anyways, let's start. Let's start with no particular. So the first one is just a note: if you were born a woman, you are bound to be feminine. So no matter on your dominant energy, even if you are very masculine, if your dominant energy is masculine, or if you live in a masculine kind of, if your lifestyle is very masculine, like mine used to be, like I used to work a lot, I used to organize and decide on everything, I used to be like this this little robot. And if no matter how you choose to live, no matter how you live, if you were born in the body of a woman, you will be feminine. You will become you will want to become feminine. So that's already 50% of your work is done. It would be much harder if you were born in the body of a man. But so if you were born a woman, chances are very high that at one point you will become feminine, just because you will be craving that. The second point is solitude. Now, a lot of people are afraid of solitude, are avoiding solitude even. Maybe, I wouldn't say, like they don't see the good in solitude. Like often I see people that that love solitude are those that are so sick of others that they just want to be left alone. But this is not how it's supposed to be. Solitude is actually a gift to us, and we should value it. Now, masculinity grows in company, so they want to have a lot of people around them. Why? Because they constantly need to grab the energy from somewhere, and they need to constantly challenge themselves. So they need other people to tell them kind of what to do, not to tell them what to do, but to kind of to guide them. They don't have vision. They only act on their ego. So if you are, so this is masculinity. Masculinity needs people around them to guide them in life and to get energy from. Femininity grows inside. The energy produces inside. So we don't really need people. And if you notice, observe your feminine kind of friends, men and women alike, they're all introverts. Why? Because femininity grows inside, not outside. So you shouldn't be afraid of solitude. If you're a woman, you should embrace solitude. Solitude is good. It's time for you to listen to your mind and to your body, and to kind of reacquaint yourself with those two obviously. Now, when you're by yourself, don't try to fill that time with something like social media or maybe watching movies or reading something. It's good, but it's not really exactly, it wouldn't help you to reconnect to yourself. So like, embrace solitude and use it wisely, so to say. So that's the second one. Again, you will develop femininity much faster if you would be by yourself than if you would be in the company. All those feminine circles, all those kind of events where women get together, those are for masculine women to grab a little energy and to become more feminine. It's not for feminine women. You will get worn out in those events like I used to be. It's not a place for somebody who is feminine. So if you want to become feminine, then be open to being by yourself. There's nothing wrong in that. The third advice that I would give to become more feminine is to develop your second chakra. Your second chakra, it's in the projection of a womb. It's basically it's pure femininity, pure raw femininity. It's pleasure, our will to live. And this is raw femininity. It's not divine femininity, it's raw femininity. So something that's the femininity that's not polished, so to say. But it's very important to have it, because without pleasure, you won't be able to move on. You can polish a diamond out of the stone that has a diamond, but if there is no diamond inside, I mean, you can polish all you want, there's nothing. So pleasure is a must. And the pleasure is in your second chakra. And if you want to develop pleasure, not excitement, then it's the second chakra closer to the spine, a feminine side of the chakra. So you need to work with that. The easiest way is to breathe through it. You can do my course. There is a lot of videos on second chakra. I will put one here. But I would start right there. So you can work with your third eye, sixth chakra, all you want to become divine feminine. But if you don't have the grounding for that divine femininity, you will never become, you will never develop divine feminine energy in you. You need to start with pleasure from bottom up, always like this, never from top to bottom. So the second chakra is the most important. If I would choose from all three feminine chakras, and those are second, fourth, and sixth, I would choose the second. So yes, maybe it's not the best one, maybe it's not the most polished one, but this is the most important one when you want to become feminine. Pleasure is what people come to you for. Like me, I always was surprised why people come to me, why men love me so much. I mean, I'm beautiful, thanks God, but I'm not like the most beautiful. I'm not the tallest, I'm not the skinniest. But yet I always had a lot of men in my life. Why? Because I have a lot of water, and water is pleasure. So that's actually another thing. If you want to develop second chakra, drink more water, stay next to the water, be in water. But I will put the video, you can watch it. So second chakra is a must. If you want to develop femininity, you have to work with it constantly, all the time. I would advise you to do my course. It will be under the video, but it's up to you, really. But over there's energetic exercises that will help you to develop that second chakra. But you can breathe through it. I mean, that would be something as well. All right. So the fourth point is you need to watch what you eat. So feminine foods are warm foods. Masculine foods are cold foods. So if you want to become more feminine, then I would suggest you eating warmer foods. What could it be? I mean, different kind of entrees, porridges, soups, so anything that is warm. Even some of my clients, I advise them, they even put fruits in the microwave for a little bit or in the oven just to make them warm. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't eat masculine foods. Of course I do. And masculine foods like salads, cold cuts, anything cold, basically. Cold water, cold juices, fruits. So anything uncooked and anything cold. Doesn't mean that I eat them, obviously. I love to have a salad in the evening. I do eat fruits occasionally. So I don't mind that. But if you want to develop femininity, then warmer foods are better for you. They calm down and if you are into kind of Chinese traditional healing and medicine, and I think it's pretty like they make it clear that warm foods are feminine and cold foods are masculine. So eat more warm foods, not always, but try at least if there is a choice between, or at least have them room temperature, so nothing cold. Cold food, cold water is really stresses out your body and prepares it for fight, makes it very masculine. So don't do that. And also feminine foods are considered the sweet ones. So like honey, dairy also is a feminine food. Now, masculine foods are tea, coffee, alcohol, anything cold, obviously. So stuff like that. If you have no problems with dairy, then do eat dairy. Dairy is very feminine. It will make you. And if you ever been into Asian household, you probably know they always make you tea with milk. They just they put milk in, I think, everything, just for maybe that particular reason. So do eat dairy. Unfortunately, me and dairy are not always friends, so I prefer to avoid it. But warmer foods will do good for you. So also sweets, but not sweets like not even sweets. The chocolate. Chocolate is really good for as the food for femininity. Make sure though it doesn't have a lot of sugar. So the sweet food is good, but it should be naturally sweet. So maybe like even, well, jams have sugar, so not too much sugar, but sweet something is feminine. All right, so let's move on from the food. The fifth point is you need to surround yourself with beauty. Now you will say, well, why does it matter for my femininity? So it doesn't really, but it will create this particular environment where you will want to become more feminine. So what could that be? Depending what you like. So for me, it's flowers. I like flowers. I like beautiful little things. Maybe for somebody it could be curtains, maybe some pillows. So something that would make sure though that your apartment doesn't become, or your house doesn't become, a junkyard. So it has to be particular elements that will make you feel softer, like more, like you want to be in the space that you are. And I didn't really believe into this. Candles also a good thing. I didn't really believe into that when my mentor told me to do that. I always had flowers, but I really didn't believe. And she told me, try it, and you will see, that you would want to become more feminine. And it's true. I always had flowers, but I didn't really have candles, or I didn't really care how cozy my apartment is, as long as I had what I needed to have. So I added a few pieces, and I really enjoyed being there, being in solitude, being by myself in that apartment. I really enjoyed. I became much softer just by surrounded with the beauty. Also, when you're surrounded by beautiful things, you start craving this this kind of atmosphere in you more and more, and that atmosphere comes with your femininity. Doesn't mean that masculine people don't like beauty. Obviously they do, but they want it more for kind of an ego purpose, like everybody has a beautiful house, I need to have a beautiful house. Feminine people want particular things because they connect to them, they feel them, and they add some kind of aesthetic pleasure to them. So do surround yourself. Obviously, I'm not even going to mention clean your house. Make sure there is no clutter, no trash all over. So the next one is work on your fourth chakra. Fourth chakra is your heart. Now, this is the second chakra in your feminine journey. It's also very important. Again, this chakra will not develop your divine feminine energy, like everybody likes to talk, but it will help you with your femininity. Now, why is it important? Because heart is how we connect to others, how we connect to ourselves first and then to others. Remember, femininity is about emotions and energy inside. So we feel people through emotions. We feel people with our energy, and we connect to people through it as well. So if you don't have if your heart chakra is blocked, you won't be able to connect to people. You will connect to people with a different kind of with the wrong intention. So when your heart is open, you want to connect to people because you want to develop with them, you want to grow with them, you want to learn maybe something from them. But when your heart is closed, it's like you almost always afraid of a threat, like you're competing with people instead of developing with them. So fourth chakra is important. It also heals your inner child. Remember, you can't love anybody else if you don't love yourself. So when you work with your fourth chakra, you're healing your traumas, especially your inner child traumas, and you start loving yourself, you start loving everybody else. Just like with second chakra, you can't give pleasure if you don't feel pleasure. Here, you cannot love anybody if you don't love yourself. So again, I have a couple videos on self-love. I'm going to put them. I will put the meditation on healing your inner child. Again, you will never become feminine if your inner child is struggling. So you would need to heal that. I know that from my own experience, and not only from my own experience, from my mentors, from my clients as well. As much as they wanted to avoid working on them, on their inner child, healing their inner child, they had to eventually do that, because you can't avoid it. Really, you cannot skip on the like cleaning kind of part of yourself. So you will have to do this, and I will tell you, when I healed my inner child, it took a while, probably like half a year at least. I couldn't even breathe through my heart. That's how blocked I was. Like every time I would breathe, I would start almost crying. I felt like there is something heaviness in it. So it took me time, a lot of work with my mentors, a lot of meditations, a lot of unblocking, little by little. And the first time I finally could breathe through my heart, I basically started crying, and I was just laying on the floor meditating, because I felt it was easy. I couldn't meditate on a soft surface, because I felt like I couldn't breathe. So but it took me a while, and once I did it, I mean, I started seeing people like really. I stopped seeing enemies all around me. I started seeing people that I like, that I want to kind of to like, that love me. And I mean, obviously, I became a different person when it came to dating and to connecting to anybody, actually. All right, so this is the fourth chart. I'm not going to talk much about it, because I have videos. I'll put them if you want to watch them, but this is an important chakra. Second and fourth are the most important. Sixth is like an addition. Even when I do energy alignment, I don't work on the sixth chakra, because this is something extra. If you have a really good developed second and fourth chakra, the sixth chakra will open itself. It's the upper chakra is open when the bottom chakras open. So you don't really need to work on your sixth chakra if you have really good second and fourth. Now, so let's move next. The next one will be surprisingly, but femininity could not develop if your masculinity inside is not clean and is not present. Now you will tell me, well, why would I need masculinity? I'll tell you why you need masculinity, because femininity is very unorganized, is an energy of pleasure and love without borders. So if you don't have a healthy masculinity, people will step all over you. They will grab and grab and grab until you will have nothing to give, and then they will cast you to the side. So when you have a healthy masculinity, that masculinity protects that femininity and doesn't let everybody to grab it, unless that somebody is contributing to your life. So your masculinity must be clean. And I'm telling you, as a person who was born with dominantly feminine energy, I think I saw people as enemies. I saw threat in everybody because of that. Since childhood, I was very empathetic and very kind of kind and giving and very emotional. And I understood since childhood that, like, this is what it was. I would give, and then I would expect something, like not expect something, but I would imagine that people want to give me back. But people with dominantly masculine energy, they don't give back. They believe that if you give, then you want to give, that it's not a condition, that it's just something that you have in abundance, you see. So I started being very cautious about what I'm given and kind of expecting from others. But if my masculinity would be clean from childhood, then I wouldn't have this issue. So I would be like, I would be given in portions. So I give a little bit, I replenish, I give a little bit, I replenish, like this. I wouldn't be exhausted. And it happened to me a few times in the relationship. Because I'm so feminine, I attract masculine men. They take. Then at one point, I'm exhausted. they would distance themselves from me because I have nothing to give. What I'm going to give? And they distance themselves from me. I would start getting like all crazy because they distancing themselves from me, and I'm trying to get them back, but they don't come back because there's nothing to give. And so this roller coasters will start. Then like in a little time I would replenish myself, they're back again, they're taken, everything is good, and then again I'm exhausted and they're out of my life. So you need to have masculinity. Right now it doesn't happen. Right now I have men, I obviously have a lot of admirers, I socialize with them as long as it's comfortable for me. I don't mind to give people energy. I give energy to my clients with whom I work, but there is a limit. I limit myself on how much I'm giving and what I'm getting back in return. So if a man wants to be in my company, obviously he knows that he has to do something to provide, to give me some maybe flowers, gifts, to take me out, to maybe occasional present. So something needs to be given to me for my energy. If he's not giving nothing, I'm very fast out of that relationship with him and overall. So masculinity have to be present and has to be clean. Doesn't mean you need to be masculine. You just need to be present. It has to be present there. I had a mentor. She was very masculine, but she never acted masculine. But her masculinity was so strong that men from far away could feel it. That if they will do wrong to her, she will obviously she will not tolerate that. You see, men can feel it. Not men, everybody really can feel how far they can push. So she has a husband who supports her, who spoils her and everything. But if that husband will disappear at one point, or if they outgrow each other, she knows that she can provide for herself. She doesn't depend on him. So they develop together. As long as they develop, well, it serves them both. Now, once it will not serve them, she will not die without him. She will be fine. So from here, from this kind of a little story, you need to develop both air and fire. Now, I have videos on those too, so I'm not going to get deep in that, but air is your basically, is your optimism, your lightness, your desire and excitement for life, not even desire, but your kind of, your curiosity. So this is something that will allow you. You see, femininity is vulnerable like that, vulnerable and heavy. Remember, feminine energy goes from waist down, masculine energy goes from waist up. So femininity is pleasurable and grounding, but when it comes to something unknown, it gets uncomfortable and gets a little unbalanced, right? But so that's why you need air. Air will teach you how to be okay with unpredictable, how to be almost embrace the something that's unknown. Like when you are with the man who is with friends who are like, oh come on, let's do this, who are so cheerful and happy and kind of and optimistic, and they're like, oh, everything will be fine, you will see, let's do it. You feel like that too. So you need to have that air in you. And the air, this is 3 upper chakras. You just can work with them or just do different kind of things every day. Now, the second one that you need to have is fire. Fire is your confidence, your ability to keep the borders, basically your standards. Fire is very important when you are dating especially. So this is something that will not allow your water to become to your water, your femininity to become dirty, to become like to become abused. So fire is something that will back you up if something happens. So I work on my fire every single day. Why? Because I have a lot of water, and if I wouldn't have fire, that water will be used and abused. Like sometimes they sit in the pool and people just come and start talking to me, and I know why. They want to grab energy. So if I wouldn't know how to kind of politely let them send them on their way, I mean, I would be just people would be just all over. Yesterday I was sitting here and this guy came and he just, I need to paint your door frame. I mean, what? He was not painting. I live in the building. He's not painting nobody's door frame, but he suddenly needed to paint my door frame. So it was very, very interesting and very strange. And so that's what it is. Fire is basically will keep people, will allow you to be not rude, but to stand your ground and to stand and to keep your boundaries protected. So these two, you need to work all the time, and working on fire is easy. You can just you need to speed up your breathing. So it's either you go for a run or you go for a brisk walk, or maybe you do some kind of Pilates is good too. So air is some kind of games or traveling. So stuff like that. You need to work on that all the time. Just like on your femininity, your masculinity has to be clean as well. Remember, a truly feminine woman is 75% feminine, 25% masculine. So masculinity has to be present whether you want it or not. Okay, so let's do the masculinity. I hope I convinced you. Again, you don't need to act masculine. You just need to know that. Like me, I don't act masculine. I'm very sweet and kind of, and open and smiley all the time. But people know how far they can press me. They know how far they can cross how deep into my aura they can step in. They know, because I don't. It's not like I'm threatening them or I'm looking mean at them or anything. But they know, because my masculinity is on guard. And if they overstep, they will know that. Okay, so the next one is your security. You need to also work on your security. And without femininity, without security, femininity is impossible. Let me prove it to you. Let me tell you why. Well, if you notice how you could never feel pleasure when you have problems, even if you are intimate with your partner and you have some kind of problems, you are not able to feel yourself. You're not able to get to that kind of state where you just floating in pleasure, right? That's because you don't feel secure. So if you want to be feminine, you will have to learn you will need to develop security. And on security, I have a few videos. I will put them too here in the description of this one. But security is your first chakra. So you just need to work on that. Now work on what security is for you. Ideally, security is installed in us by our father in childhood. But like me, for example, I lost my father very early. So that security was not that much installed in me. Now, if you are a mother and you have daughters, please do not prevent your daughters to socialize with their fathers. No matter how good or bad your relationship is, let her feel that strength and security that comes from man. It always comes from father. Security comes from father, never from mother. So no matter how good mother you are, you will never be able to give security to your daughter. So security comes from a father, then from man. Now, but if you are unfortunate to have a father, or maybe your father passed away early, like mine did, or maybe for any other reason, so maybe he was not secure himself, you can develop security yourself. So security is like a base for everything. It's important for man, for woman, for anybody. It's like your roots that hold you steady while you're developing everything else. And if you do not feel, if your roots are not steady, you will always be doubting. So you will always be, okay, I need to develop femininity, but then the problems came up, and then you have a break for like a week developing your femininity because you need to solve those problems. But if you feel sturdy and secure in your life, then this will not be a problem. You will never be like, okay, I need to put my development on pause. I will solve the issues, and then no, because you will do it automatically. You will automatically solve the problems, and you will automatically work with your femininity. Like me, obviously I live in a material world, so some issues arise here and there, but I don't put my life on pause because I have some problems. I fix them and I move on with my life as well. But I have that security. I develop it for me, and I do it every single day. So what is security could be for you? Security is always inside. But I know that it's kind of hard to develop inside when you don't have outside. For most people, security is money or some kind of connections. For some people, it could be a man. I would really ask you not to depend on a man for security, because then you will put a huge energetic pressure on him. But if security is money, then maybe put aside a little bit, like have a savings that you will never touch, or maybe do some kind of investments, like secure investments, maybe some funds or EFTs, something like that, something that's secure. You will have that chunk of money, you will feel secure, you will be able to develop security. But it's your root chakra. You basically can breathe through your tailbone if you can. I mean, just keep attention there, you will feel secure. Too much security will hold you down, but for the most part, not too many people have too much security in our world anyways. and the ground. You walking barefoot, that also will help you. The next one is, so away from the energy, let's get to the material. You need to start spoiling yourself. And if you have daughters, if you have nieces, daughters, any little girls in your life, make sure spoil them as well, and allow them to spoil themselves. So, for example, if you have a daughter and that daughter has some pocket money that you're giving her, and she's like, well, what can I spend the money on? Encourage her to spend on herself. So not mindlessly spending, but maybe you'll tell her, well, why don't you buy yourself something? Let's look maybe on some kind of clothes and maybe some accessories. Encourage her. You see, she will spoil herself, then others will spoil her. She needs to grow up being entitled. And as bad as it sounds, maybe this is how it's supposed to be. Femininity gives a lot to everybody. So doesn't femininity deserves to be rewarded somehow? Like, for example, I have a niece, and my niece is my brother's daughter. So my brother is masculine. I think my brother is live off the energy of my niece, and a lot of actually men live with the energy of their daughters. And this is normal. It's not like something. It's not like he's he's using her for energy. No, my brother gives a lot to his daughter. He loves her very much, but she is the driver in his life. So she's basically help him to feel motivated. She's a young girl. She's only like 10 or 11, but she gives that energy. When he talks to her on the phone, she feels him with energy and everything. When they hang out together, he basically, so doesn't she deserve to be spoiled? And lucky for her, my brother realizes, and he loves her very much, so he does give her a lot. He does spoils her. Her mother spoils her, so she grows up to be entitled. You see, she doesn't know why she's entitled, but she just expects it. And I will tell you, she's not spoiled at all. When you talk to her, she gives to everybody as well, but she knows that she deserves and she knows that she will get, and she just absolutely normal about that. So if you have a daughter, make sure that your daughter is spoiled. You will not spoil her. Don't spoil the boys. Boys grow in challenges. Masculinity grows in challenges. Femininity grows in pleasure. But do spoil your little girls. Now, if you don't have kids and you want to be feminine also, you need to spoil yourself first. So not your kids, yourself first. So you need to spoil yourself. Why? Again, because only when you have something you can give. And how you can have something, you need to put the energy in you. When you buy yourself something, when you pamper yourself, when you take yourself to some kind of I don't know, maybe to do your nails, to do this, to kind of cater to yourself, you get the energy back into you. Then when you have the energy, you can give the energy. When you don't have nothing, I mean, look, this is what it is. You can take your kids shopping and buy them everything and nothing for yourself, and then you will be angry and unhappy. Look, your kids don't need nothing but your love, your energy. They really don't need none of those clothes or anything. All they need is your good kind of your good energy, your good attitude, and that only will come when you're filled. So you need to start spoiling yourself, whatever it is. Like when I still lived in New York and I had a mentor, she told me. So this is how I was making a good amount of money, and I always had like this. Okay, so I need to pay rent, then I need to pay this, then I need to pay that, then whatever I have left, maybe I can spend on myself, maybe I can put in savings. So my mentor told me, when you get a salary, so I used to get salary every 2 weeks and then bonuses occasionally. When you get a salary, first you buy yourself something and then see what you will pay the rest. And if you will have not enough, then it's, tough luck. So I started doing that. Then I kind of switched a little bit and I decided that bonuses are only for me. So every time I would get a bonus, I would just spend on myself. I would buy myself whatever I wanted. And that's how I learned how to spoil myself. So for me, at that moment, I showed that rent and my bills were not as important as I was. I was the priority, and it helped me a lot. I never was late on rent or anything else, but I learned that me first. And if I didn't have enough for rent, I would have, I don't know, maybe I had a 2-bedroom apartment for New York. That's a little too much. So I would have chosen a smaller place, or I'm not sure. But fortunately for me, I mean, I didn't have to, because once I started spoiling myself, the universe started spoiling me. I started getting bigger bonuses, and that's what it is. So spoil yourself. Don't think that always spoil yourself. Always, like I hear it so many times. Oh my God, why is my man so um, never spoils me, never buys me nothing? And then I ask, well, do you buy yourself something? No, but I'm on a budget. But he's a man; he's supposed to. I mean, really, if you don't spoil yourself, then how somebody else will spoil? So start with that. Maybe start with little things, but you must. If you want to be feminine, you have to start spoiling yourself. Femininity has to replenish somehow, and this is like an easiest way. Okay, the next one is you need to start using oils. If you especially like oils, if you like perfumes, then I will give you a list of oils scents that are feminine, and you can maybe incorporate them. Maybe make a mixture of oils for yourself, like I have, or maybe you can buy perfumes with those scents. Now, the oils, the scents that are feminine are heavy ones. So anything heavy is feminine. Anything light is masculine. It's just a rule of thumb. So me, like I all my life, I like the heavy perfumes. Like really like oud. Now my mom and my sister, they're more masculine, so they like the freshest scents. The like more lighter. So this is the scent that you should use, and if you want this, I use it as oil. So I have little bottles, and I just put them. I put them on my wrist. I put them here and there. Just to smell this. I also have candles with the same scent, so I surround myself with this scent all the time. What are those? So oud, obviously, ilang-ilang is really patchouli is very feminine. Patchouli is very feminine, honestly. Jasmine, even rose, like a deep kind of scent of rose, is feminine. So anything heavy like that, and you would say, "My God, how do you carry it all the time?" I do. I really like it, but again, I was born feminine, so for me, it's an easy it's pleasurable kind of perfumes. Even during the day, I wear something like that, something on the heavier side. And I know that some people during the day prefer not to wear, but I do. I mean, it's not very heavy; it's lighter. But obviously, at night, I wear really really heavy perfumes, and everybody loves them. Everybody. I always get so many compliments. So what are those? I mean, usually during the day I wear oils, so not to shock the people around me. I mean, I live in Miami, so obviously maybe a little too heavy for Miami, but they're not they're not as terribly heavy. They just rich, so, so to say, that very Mediterranean, and all my perfumes have this note. So whether you will choose to have perfumes or if you will choose to have oils, up to you. But this is the feminine ones. Why are they good? Because they will bring the energy down, and feminine energy from waist down. So all the scents will bring your energy down, whether you want it or not, automatically. So if you want to feel more feminine, more kind of like more deeper inside yourself, then wear them. Try with like rose first, vanilla also, to start with. Or what was that? Gardenia. I also loved gardenia very much. So these are lighter versions. So don't start with patchouli right away, because I mean, don't start it. You might not like it, and then you also just start hating the scent, and you don't. Jasmine, start with jasmine too, and see how it will go. Also, if you have sensitive skin, make sure mix the oils with the carrier oil. So like almond oil or coconut oil, something similar, or grapeseed oil, so you wouldn't have the burns. I put the oil. I have the mixtures, but sometimes when I want to, I put straight on my skin, but then I don't have issues. I know some people, they could get like burns from the oil, so you wouldn't want to have that. So, but do mix them with the carrier oil. Now, if it's perfume, I mean, there's no problem. So again, these are I would say oud, very strong, very deep. Ilang-ilang, oud is very popular right now. The other day I went to what was it, Tom Ford, I think. or Bond 9. One of those in the mall I went to, and I'm looking for a new perfume. So I asked everything was oud, and oh my god, they like they put out the whole like maybe 20 perfumes, and I tried them all. So there are a lot of them. You wouldn't need to look deep. Patchouli, jasmine, rose, gardenia too, vanilla. So all the cinnamon and clove are also feminine, but again, these are, I guess, not everybody likes them. So see what you like. All right, so these are the oils. Use them. I mean, the easiest way I think to get feminine, just put some oils and breathe it in, enjoy it. The next one is the point of use, and I was thinking how I'm going to show it. So I will explain to you where it is. It's an acupuncture point, and you will be able to find it. If you won't be able to find it, then you can Google it. I will tell you the name of it, and if not, then you can send me a message. I will send you a video and show it where it is. It's on in TikTok. I put a video and I show it where it is. So it's right above your ankle. So that little like bone, I think it's called medial malleolus. So I googled the bone, how it's called, just to show you. And then 4 fingers above that bone, a little bit inside. The point, so you can Google it, is called San Yin Jiao. So it's San, S-A-N, Yin, Y-I-N-G, and Jiao, it's J-I-A-O. You can Google it. It's called the point of use. And a feminine energy goes from waist down and it goes inside your legs. So, and the point is almost at the end of right before your foot starts. And so it basically massages your whole channel of your femininity. You need to massage that point every single day. It's also called the peach point. So there's really different names for it, but it's very feminine point, and this is the point that you should massage. I actually was in this not like in a feminine group, but we had a mentor who had a group of us, and we started our every class with massaging that point. So basically, we had to sit for 2 minutes and massage it on both sides on both legs. So do that. Again, it's 4 fingers above that bone that sticks out right before your foot, inside of your leg, and it's a little bit to the back like this, not on the bone, but a little bit off the bone. You will find it. If you will Google it, you will find it. There are a lot of pictures of it, but this is a very feminine point. From all the points, I love acupuncture, I love the points, but this point is the most feminine, I would say. And if you have like a painful periods, if you have problems with hormones, if you have issues with pleasure, if you have problems getting pregnant, you should massage that point at all times. And not all the time, but at least a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the evening, maybe throughout the day if you can. And maybe when you watch TV, why not to do that? You will feel it. Another one is another coming from here is you need to keep your feet warm at all times. Again, because feminine energy goes from waist down, your feet are actually it's important to keep your feet warm. There is even a belief that if you could not get pregnant, you need to start being intimate in wool socks, and then you will get pregnant. I don't really I usually disregarded this advice, and I didn't really pay attention much to it, but I was doing it because, again, I was kind of in the group and we all had to do it. So I was doing it in the evening every single day for maybe I think like 2 months. And my period, I don't really have painful ones, but it was just very, very smooth process. My whole month was very smooth process. I didn't have any kind of hormonal roller coasters. I don't usually have them, but still it was much smoother. The whole month was much smoother. So, and I tell this I give this advice to my clients as well. So keep your feet warm. I don't usually, I walk barefoot in my apartment, and I have AC blasting, but especially if your feet gets cold, make sure that wear some socks, wear wool socks ideally, or at least wear some slippers. And if you really have problems with this, then do like a little bath for your feet for at least 10-15 minutes in hot water. So in the evenings before you go to sleep, like I had this special kind of vessel. I would pour some hot water, some warm water, and then I would just add little hot water little by little. I used to put herbs, and I would just sit there, watch some Netflix, and just sit and keep my feet warm. So do that. Again, it's not for everybody. If you have time, I mean, why not to do it? Again, it wouldn't hurt. So this is especially if you're very masculine. If your whole day was very masculine, then this would be good. A couple of my friends got pregnant like this. They were doing this little bath, with, in the hot water for a couple months, and then they got pregnant. These are women that couldn't get pregnant, so they had like difficulties. I wouldn't say reproductive challenges, but they couldn't get pregnant for like a couple of years, and then they started doing this, and they were able to get pregnant. So if you have, if you have maybe issues with that, or if you want to, that wouldn't hurt. Okay, so the next one is remember how I said that you should surround yourself with beautiful things, with something that makes you happy, that you really enjoy looking at. So this one is, you need to start taking care of yourself and being presentable every day. Even if you live by yourself, even if nobody sees you, even if you just work from home and never leave your house, you still need to be presentable every single day. It changed. I never been like really. I never been this person who would be in the pajamas all day. Never. I wouldn't even lie. I also never was the person who would have like dirty laundry all over. I'm like really pretty neat, but I wouldn't particularly be presentable. Like I could be in a bun, like have my hair in a bun all day long, or I could, I don't know, like I could wear some clothes that I wouldn't want my neighbors to see me in, even though they were clean and, and kind of neat, but still I wouldn't. So I started implementing this. This was the advice that I also got, and I started really implementing this. So right now at home, I always look good enough to go for lunch anywhere in Miami, honestly. So maybe if I would be in a different state, I could even go to dinner. So I look good all the time. Like I don't put a heavy makeup on, but I always look presentable. I always look decent. And why does it help with your femininity? When you feel good in your body, when you look at yourself and you feel good, you start feeling pleasure without even putting much effort into it. So taking care of yourself and being presentable is not only feeding your ego, that's your masculinity, but also helps you feeling pleasure where there is almost no pleasure. You like me today, I was just like after I woke up, I washed my face, I brushed my teeth, and I was just, and oh, you did really? I looked at myself and my God, I'm so beautiful. Like, and and I had this surge of self-love and pleasure in me without even absolute any kind of effort. So that's what gives it, what gives you. So, and I noticed from my clients, the clients that I'm like really, I wouldn't say taking care of themselves, but thank you, but who are really who are presentable, who look after themselves even when nobody sees them, they are much more successful in becoming feminine. I obviously have clients who are presentable because of their ego. That's different. That's their masculinity. But I would rather, I don't mind you to be presentable because of your ego, as long as you are presentable. So again, do take care of yourself. Do make sure that you're presentable. So a rule of thumb is, if somebody will see you, anybody, you will be okay with that. Like you should be anybody. Honestly, right now, if somebody will come and ask me for an interview, right now I would be fine. I even have makeup on. But in any point of the day and night, I would be okay. Like I sleep beautiful, I wake up beautiful, like I would be fine. So you need to be like that too, especially if you want to become feminine. Don't do it for somebody, do it for yourself. Like to the point that you shouldn't be eating out of the like right next to the stove, just make sure that you serve the table. Like me, I often I eat by myself, but I do serve the table always, and I don't know. I just I enjoy all this. I enjoy this, but it took me some time. I always was neat, but I haven't like put this extra effort in me, but right now I taught myself, so it's absolutely normal for me. Like I was last year, I was in some Airbnb and there was no knives, so there are forks, but there were no knives, and obviously there were no napkins. I mean, there was at least not much tableware at all. So I wrote to the host and I'm like, there are no knives. I'm eating like a peasant, and he was so shocked because he's like, oh, couldn't you eat with the fork? I'm like, I can, but I need the knife too. I mean, how I'm supposed to help myself with food? So, and at that moment, I caught myself. That it became so normal to me that I didn't even think twice. I basically demanded a knife because it's my standard. So, do like that. Do be presentable. Do take care of yourself. Do take care of your standards before others will start take care of your standards in you. You should never eat alone. You're too beautiful. Yeah, you see, I don't mind. I don't mind sometimes. All right, so the next one is you need to embrace your emotions. Emotions make you feminine. A feminine woman is an emotional woman. And this was my mistake. For a long time, I was very embarrassed of my emotions. I can become very happy or very sad or very angry or very just like calm in there, like, and my emotions change. And even somebody told me, are you bipolar? No, I'm not bipolar. I'm just feminine. You know, I have a lot of water, and water changes. Water never calm. Water is always kind of up and down. So you need to embrace your emotions and not be sad and not be ashamed of them. That was me. I was ashamed of them for a long time. I worked in finances. So obviously this is the world for no emotions. And I thought something is wrong with me. I always wanted to be somewhat more not emotional at all, until I realized that my emotions are what makes me successful and what brings people to me and resources to me. Why? Because men loved me being emotional. Men loved being around me because I'm emotional, because they don't have emotions, so they crave what they don't have. And obviously, I connected to people, to my clients, on my emotions, and oh yeah, and they basically they wanted to be. I connected to people when my emotions they were coming, and they were doing business with me because I was like that, because they felt the softness and the emotional connection. So not everybody wants to kind of do business with somebody who does not connect to you at all. So emotions are important. Don't be ashamed of your emotions. Obviously, learn how to control them. You have to kind of you need to make sure. That's where the 25% masculinity comes in. But don't be ashamed of them. Don't try to hide them. Don't try to kind of apologize for them like I used to. I mean, right now I'm just emotional. If you don't like it, I mean, too bad. Deal with it, and just and it's whatever. Like I saw not. I, it's not like I'm not apologizing. I'm actually embracing. I'm happy when I'm emotional. At least I'm not holding nothing in me, and there is no blocks building up inside of my aura. So I tell all my clients to be emotional, to be like to embrace them. Now, one thing is that I'm emotional, but I can answer for my emotions. You see, when I'm unhappy, I can tell why I'm unhappy. When I'm sad, I can tell also. When I'm very in love, I can explain that too. I take accountability for my emotions. You see, it's like masculinity could become very aggressive and not take accountability, or they can take accountability. The same with me, with my emotions. So if you want to be feminine, you have to learn to feel, and you need to take accountability for your emotions and be okay with them. A feminine woman will never be feminine if she's not emotional. That's impossible. Femininity is emotions. That's what it is. So you need to have them. You need to embrace your emotions. Okay, the next one is it's the gods bringing us together. Yeah, sure. Okay, so the next one, and then so you have two more. The next one is you need to stay horizontal. If you want to become feminine, then lay down. This is I always tell the clients, if you could not lay down, then just raise your feet. So as long as you look, masculinity is going up, is developing vertical, femininity develops horizontally. So if you want to be feminine, then you need to stay horizontal. You need to lay. The more you lay, the more you raise your feet, the more you kind of horizontal, the more you become feminine. Doesn't mean that you need to lay down all day long. That's obviously not healthy. But when you were masculine, when you were running for too long, when you were working like the whole day, it's okay to raise your legs. Like even when I was working in my corporate career, right, I had a lunch break. That lunch break I would always spend raising my legs up. So I would sit and I would put my legs up, so I would feel like I would come down a little bit and feel and feel and feel more feminine. So do that. You not necessarily that you need to sleep as long as you lay down. Remember, you have energy in your aura, and that energy needs to kind of go, like, needs to fill your aura fully. When you are masculine for too long, your aura is basically stretching up like this, and so you need to kind of to balance it. So when you're laying down, your aura is basically your energy, it just goes down and kind of stretches. Your aura is like an egg, looks like an egg. It cannot be just like a energy could not stay like this. It has to be all over the place. So you need to make sure that you do spend some time, and the more you do, the better. So if you take a nap every 2 hours, that's not bad. Really, that's not bad. That's actually good. Um, Especially after you exercise, or maybe after like you went for a run, or maybe you went shopping and then you're tired. This is normal. Stay horizontal. The more you stay horizontal, the more feminine you are. And the last one, I'm waiting for your phone number in my DMs. You never even wrote me a DM. This guys, huh? All right. So, and the last one is I would suggest you to do my meditations. I will put them in the description of this video here on YouTube. Do my meditations. I have 2 meditations on pleasure. They are very feminine. They are very strong. I used to do a meditation like that, like the first one that I have, for a long time, and it really helped me. It really, really helped me to become feminine. I think if you will, from all this list, you will take only one, like one activity that you will do every day, then do this, do a meditation, and you will see how much better you will start feeling. Ideally, you should listen to that meditation twice a day. It's guided and charged meditation. If you twice a day would be perfect. Now, if you can do only once a day, then do it in the morning. In the morning would be better. Your whole day will start in pleasure. Now, I used to do it 3 times a day. I think it's too much, so I wouldn't suggest. I mean, I was really determined to become successful, but 3 times a day, I think it's a little too much. But look, there was time when I was used to do something like that 4 times a day. And do them. There is 2 of them. The first one is really, really pleasure. I'm pleasure, I think it's called. It's really, really good. Activates all your energy centers. It really helps you to feel your body and to feel your aura with pleasure. The second one is I'm pure bliss. It's also very nice. It's more relaxed. It's not as intense as the first one. So the second one you can do before going to sleep. And obviously do the meditation on healing your inner child. That's important. Again, you will never be able to love if you do not love yourself, if your inner child is not at peace and is not loved. But those meditations, I suggest them to you. You don't have to do my meditations, but I would recommend you to do mine because they're charged and they're guided. And I know that they work. My clients do them, but you can do somebody else, not maybe my voice will not be compatible with yours. So anyways, meditations are important because they give you time to disconnect from the reality, to be inside of you and to feel you. That's why they are important. Any kind of meditation is important, but meditation that would develop your femininity are super important when you want to become feminine. All right, that's it. Ask me questions if you have. If I will sum it up really fast, and we will go on our merry way to enjoy Sunday. All right, so the first one is, if you were born to become a woman, then you're bound to be feminine. You're 50% already done. Your success rate is already 50%. The second one is, don't be afraid of solitude. Embrace solitude. Remember, femininity develops inside, so you don't need a crowd around you to develop femininity. You actually need to be alone to develop femininity. Then you can share it with the crowd. But first, you need to get it yourself somehow. The third one is work on your second chakra. This is raw femininity, your pleasure. Without it, you won't be able to become feminine. You can work on your heart and your vision for so long. Without pleasure, you will not move too far. I'm telling you this as a Reiki master and as a Tantra practitioner and student for many, many years. So without pleasure, you can just basically give up on femininity if that's something that you wouldn't develop. The next one is eat feminine foods. These are warm foods, sweet foods, dairy. These are all feminine. The fifth one is you need to surround yourself with beauty. Make sure that the space where you live, where you spend a lot of time, is pleasing to your eyes, to your energy. Whatever it is for you, add it to yourself. Maybe some candles, maybe flowers. Like I love flowers. I have flowers all the time. Then the next one is work on your fourth chakra. This is your self-love. If you will choose what to do with your fourth chakra, then heal your inner child first. This is probably the priority for you right now. Then the next one is make sure that your masculinity is clean and present. The masculinity will be protecting you. Your inner masculinity protects you inside and outside. It protects your femininity. You see, when you don't have a clean masculinity, you will always be fighting everybody. You will have no security, and you won't be able to develop femininity because you believe that you are constantly like something is constantly threatening you. So work on your air. Air is your optimism, your curiosity for life. And work on your fire. Fire are your standards, and without your standards, you won't be able to move too far. Then work on your security. No pleasure will come when you don't have security. Security is your roots. It's your base. So security is must when you want to become feminine. It's must for everything, honestly. So do the grounding, walk barefoot, do something to create those roots. Security creates by your father. So if you have daughters and you don't want them to socialize with their fathers, don't do that. Let the daughters have the security that you don't have right now. Then spoil yourself. If you have daughters, spoil them, allow them to spoil themselves, show them that this is normal to be spoiled, show them that they are entitled, and they're entitled just because they are, and it's true, it's absolutely true. The next one is use oils. The feminine oils are oud, ilang-ilang, jasmine, patchouli, vanilla, cinnamon, so something heavy like this. Then massage the point of use. It's San Yin Jiao. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. I think that's how it's pronounced. The next one is do massage it at least 2 minutes every day. From here, do keep your feet warm all the time, especially if you tend to have cold feet. If you have cold feet, then your cortisol is very high. So do keep them, especially before going to bed. Make sure that you keep them in hot water for a little bit. Do take care of yourself and be presentable every day. It will prompt you to be more feminine, more kind of softer, more open to pleasures and love within your life. Make sure you take care and presentable every day, even when nobody sees you. This is actually important because usually we tend to not care about ourselves when nobody sees us. But when you do, it's like it becomes a habit. And embrace your emotions. They make you feminine. A feminine woman is an emotional woman, so don't be ashamed for your emotions. Do embrace them, love them, listen to them. You see, if you are angry, why are you angry? What made you angry right now? If you are upset, what made you upset? What is lacking in your life? You see, this is very important. If you are able to listen to yourself and explain yourself, give yourself what you're missing, then others will do the same. They will cater to you because you need in this, because you expect it. It's crucial. Honestly, don't ever apologize for your emotions. Don't ever do keep accountable yourself for the emotions, but don't apologize for them. Like for example, you suddenly started crying and left, right? You can say, yeah, I don't know, something happened. I felt like leaving. That's it. You don't apologize. You admit, yeah, that happened. You acknowledge, but you stand on your own side. You see, like when you have a little kid and your little kid start acting up, what are you going to do? You're going to apologize? You'll be just no. She's just unhappy. She just wants to eat. So let's go get you some food. The next one is do stay horizontal. Feminine energy develops horizontally. So the more you are horizontal, the better it is. If you could not really, I will answer that. If you are not able to lay down, then at least raise your feet a little bit. Like when I'm traveling and I'm like I put a lot of miles sightseeing, I usually sit in the cafe and I raise my feet up. I mean, obviously do it so not to offend anybody. I usually do it somewhere, maybe sit where there is nobody or something. So I obviously do it discreet. I don't like I don't put my feet into somebody's face. But I do, like if I have to, or maybe I sit on the bench and I just raise my feet a little bit. And the last one is do my meditations. I'll put them in the description of this one, or you can find them on YouTube. They're open for everybody, so you can do them at least once a day. All right. How do I handle my parents not being emotionally available? They don't need to be emotionally available to you. Your parents only. What is the reason for you to want them to be emotionally available? Your parents only need to create the life for you. So they need to give you. They need to create roof, food, and that's it. And basically, until the age of maturity. Right? Once you mature, your parents are not. They don't owe you anything anymore. If you still kind of trying, they never were even in my childhood. How do I heal from this now? You need to heal your inner child. It's do my meditation on YouTube. If you want, write me in the private message. I will send you that meditation. So you're probably still looking for the love of your mother, for the acceptance of your mother, but you're grown up now. I think you look grown up. And that's basically that's what you need. You need to give love. Imagine that there is a little girl sitting inside of you, and just hug her. Imagine that you're giving her that love. You don't need your mom to do that for you now. You can do it for yourself. But I will send you the meditation, and you can do it every day. If you will be crying, that's normal. But you will heal your inner child, and that's it. Nothing. You don't really need your parents any longer. I mean, it's good to have them, but okay. All right. Any more questions on the feminine? So this is only one part. There will be second part next Sunday at 11 again, because there's really too many of these points. And again, I do have a lot of videos on YouTube on femininity. I just collected all of these tips in one, but I do have a lot of them. I have my morning and evening routine. I'll put it here too for you to watch. So not to be overwhelmed, because I have a lot of clients and they're like, my God, I have to do so much. I don't know what to do. So I created morning and evening routine that I did throughout, and maybe it would be is your YouTube the same username I will follow? Yeah, it's Anastasia Zatula all together. It's you can see in my profile. It's there. All of them are there. So watch them. I mean, again, why would you need to become feminine? If you don't need to become feminine, but it would be good if you become feminine for you, for your life. Again, you can happily live in a masculine state, but at one point you will start. It will become heavy. Like a lot of my friends and me. I mean, I had a career. I worked really good. I mean, I was making good money. I was traveling. Everything was perfect. But it's just the man that I was attracting were not very very mature, very masculine, and I understood that something was off with me, and something was off. I was not feminine enough. I was not acting feminine. I was attracting men. Remember, we attract. So if I'm masculine, I'm attracting everything feminine. If I'm feminine, I attract everything masculine. So when I was masculine, I was getting money hard way. Now I'm feminine, I get money easier way. So it's very like you can live without being feminine at all, without feminine energy, but you can live a much easier, much more fulfilling life if you are feminine. And that's what important to understand. Like sometimes I have somebody telling me, well, um, our parents lived without the femininity and they were fine. Yeah, they were fine. I mean, they still are fine. I mean, my mom is almost 70 and she's working on her femininity just because she understands that it's much easier. And but she lived a very beautiful life. I mean, nothing is wrong with that. It just they didn't know that, would have the information. So what I want to say is that femininity is not a must. It's not something you don't need to live, but it's more harmonious life with yourself. If you were born a woman, you will crave at one point you will crave to be feminine. You will crave this kind of softness. I mean, I couldn't. It was exhausting for me after 10 hours to come home, and I couldn't move, not even not even cook or talk to anybody. I mean, this is not life. Again, masculinity grows in challenges, femininity grows in pleasure. And whether you want it or not, this just, you will have to at one point embrace the femininity. It doesn't mean that you will become dependent on men or on society. No, you won't. As look, I am, I provide for myself. It just I provide much easier for myself. I have men that help me. I have men that want to give me. Why? Because that's what it is. I feel entitled, and I'm feminine. So I give them. And I'm not, I'm not intimate with anybody. I give them my energy. They like my company. They enjoy talking to me. They enjoy me present in their life, and they do want to make me happy, to impress me. There is nothing wrong with that. So if this is what you want, then these videos are for you. If you and it's very possible to develop, very not that hard, even if you are masculine. My clients are mostly masculine, and they all develop femininity, and it comes easy. All right, if there are no questions, then we're going to finish. If you have any ideas for the future lives, let me know. If it's within my expertise, please do. Please let me know. We will talk about that. If not, that's it. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for supporting me. I will see you next Sunday at 11. And enjoy your Sunday. Bye, everybody. Bye, YouTube. Thank you for being here with me. And I will talk to you next Sunday at 11. Bye, everybody.